Grow what we eat what we grow is a slogan for Connect for Food. The group is holding workshops in the region to promote localizing the food economy.
I'm pleased to be joined today on Primetime Local News with Perry Phillips and Kelly Cormier. They're the two behind the group Connect for Food. They're looking to promote the local food industry. Thanks for you both for being here with us today. Can you tell me a little bit more about what Connect for Food is and why someone out there should consider helping to grow the local food industry?
Well, Connect for Food is based on the belief that individuals have the vision and solutions to shape the futures of their communities, and that building a more localized and sustainable food system is vital to that. We can't really wait for solutions to come from elsewhere because the benefits then also tend to go elsewhere.
And so workshops are being hosted in a few different places. Before we get into those, what's the goal of the project?
The Connect for Food process is based on a series of workshops with the goal of finding fresh approaches and new pathways for localizing food production and building communities within and across regions.
Now, your slogan is grow what we eat what we grow. Can you share a little bit about how that slogan fits into this project?
First of all, I would say that Connect for Food looks at our food system as a wheel, and that includes all stakeholders, including growers, processors, distributors, waste regeneration, consumers, and others. And we're all connected through food. So the slogan, grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Currently, we grow very little of what we eat in Alberta, and we have a food kit culture, I guess you could say, is based on food coming from elsewhere. And much of that food could be grown here in Alberta. So that's not to say that we don't have good examples in Alberta of larger scale food production, such as the potato industry, and we have areas in the province where more food is grown than in others, but both of these have potential to expand. On the other hand, there's a lot of food grown here that is that's not making it to our tables, and there are many reasons behind that. And one of the reasons is just simply the way we think and behave about food.
Now, I was mentioning that there are workshops happening. Can you talk a little bit more about who's hosting these workshops?
Sure. We currently have a set of workshops scheduled for Northeast Alberta, and they're being hosted by Community Futures. And there's a local organization called NAFMA, which stands for the Northeastern Alberta Food Marketers Association. And so they're hosting the workshops in communities. We have a few that are coming up. We have November 8th at the Ardmore Hall, which is in the Bonnyville area. We have November 16th, which is in the Lac La Biche area. And then we have two more. One is coming up in Lamont, and the other is in Vegreville. And people who are interested in coming to our workshops, if they could go to connectforfood.ca, and all of our workshops are listed there, and they can sign up. There's a link, and they can sign up through Eventbrite. So then we will know, they'll get a ticket, then we'll know they're coming, and we have the appropriate amount of food available.
Now, I don't know who wants to take on this answer, but I was just wondering too, what kind of person should kind of attend these shows or typically attends these workshops? And for people going to these workshops, what should they expect to happen?
Well, because we're all connected through food, everyone could be considered a stakeholder to the food system. We all have something to lose or gain in that. So the workshops are really open to anyone, in what we described before as the food wheel. To be prepared to come to a workshop, really, they'll have to. Most people come to the workshops, different expectations, but they leave saying that they've learned something important. They're thinking about things differently, and they're glad to have connected with other people. So I guess those are things that you might want to be prepared to experience if you come to these workshops.
And we were talking a little bit before the interview, and I know that there's been a few of these workshops that have already taken place. Can you talk a little bit about the reaction from people who've attended?
Sure. We've in the spring we had one in Flat Lake, which is outside of St. Paul. We had one last week just outside of the Smoky Lake area at the at the Gathering Place Co-op. And then this morning we had a virtual one in the Lloydminster area. And because we're bringing people together that they're having different lenses looking at our food industry. As Perry mentioned, we have producers and processors coming. We have um, food marketers, distributors. We have chefs. We have retail, grocery store retailers coming. Everyone has different perspectives, and we're sitting around the table with topical discussions around food. And when we're working with this diverse group of people with different hats, different lenses, we're getting out of our silos and we're able to sort of talk in a way about our food system, which we don't normally do. And I think that is where the magic is happening with these Connect for Food workshops, is just having that diversity around the table and talking about our food wheel, as we call it.
Thank you both for joining us today to talk a little bit more about this initiative. Wish you guys the best of luck with your future workshops.
Starting today, Lakeland College in Vermilion is holding a haunted house in celebration of Halloween. Our Abby St. John has more.
Today, I'm happy to be joined with a few people from Lakeland College out in Vermilion. And today we are talking about a haunted house that they are putting on. The theme is Prisoner Asylum, and it sounds pretty terrifying and pretty interesting. So thank you so much for joining me today, guys.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Of course. Now, we were talking a little bit earlier, and this is the first one you guys are holding in a very long time. So tell me a little bit about the process that you guys went through to put this on, and why you guys decided to bring it back.
You know, it's something that we'd heard about in the past and just decided it would be something fun to sort of start up again, just a new tradition for the program. So we put together a bit of a proposal for the dean, who passed it along. And then from there, we just set up a couple days planning, getting things set up, and we're going to be ready to go by tonight, hopefully.
And what can people expect from it? You know, the theme is Prisoner Asylum. So without giving too many details away to spoil it, what can people expect to see or to hear, or even when they go to this?
Hopefully lots of loud noises.
Yeah, we're basically taking the theme of prisoner asylum. So the prisoners have overtaken the guards and had their way with things, and that's what you're going to see when you get there.
And do people need to bring tickets? Can they pay at the door? What is the pricing of that? And, you know, what are the proceeds going towards?
So tickets will be sold at the door. It's $5 for singles. Families 2 to 3 will be $10, and then families 4 and greater will be $15. And then the proceeds will go to our end of year grad celebration and funding next year's haunted house.
And where is the haunted house being or where is it set up?
In the smoke tower outside of the school.
And how much work and preparation did it take to complete this?
So we've been planning for about 2.5 weeks now, and we actually had access to the building over the last week. So we got together over the weekend and the last couple of days and just been putting things together. So I would say in total, probably about 3 weeks.
And it's not just taking place tonight, it is taking place over the next couple of days, the 25th, 26th, and 27th?
Yes, you're correct, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
And finally, on a scale of 1 to 10, how scary is this going to be for attendees?
Well, this gentleman here did a quick dry run last night, so he can tell you a little bit better.
Yeah, I think people better come prepared. Definitely not for small children, but yeah, it'll give some excitement.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. And I wish you guys the best of luck with this event, and hopefully this can become an annual thing.
We hope so. Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Of course.
Thank you.
Now it's time for us to check in with Shelby Clark for a weather update on this gloomy Tuesday.
Thanks so so much, Mr. Jace Mackey. Yes, now taking a first look at your gloomy Tuesday, and if you are even looking outside right now, it is looking quite dark out there. You know, it already feels like the sun is setting a lot earlier, even just looking outside, but you know, it's because of those cloudier skies. It is covering most of the sky, and it's looking very dark outside. We are just sitting at 4 degrees right now here in the border city, so definitely are seeing a much cooler day as well, but we kind of expected it this week. We are cooling down quite a bit as we head more into the fall season. We will start to warm up on Thursday and Friday. We just got to keep pushing through here. We just got to get through it. Switching over to temperatures across the region for Alberta and Saskatchewan. On the Alberta side, most spots kind of following suit with us here in the border city with that 3 and 4 degree mark that some spots are looking at on our Alberta side. Seeing that 5 for Vermilion and down in Wainwright, while the 6 and 7 for Vegreville and over in Edmonton, meanwhile also down in Provo. So they are seeing some slightly warmer conditions compared to the rest, but still seeing those single digits, you know, quite well off. Cool down in most spots on our Alberta side. Going over to our Saskatchewan side, they are looking slightly cooler as well. Most spots are seeing that 3 degree mark, and mostly in this area here. We go a bit lower, they start to warm up just like we are seeing on our Alberta side. Seeing that 4 and 5 for here in the border city in Maidstone and down in Macklin. North Battleford is seeing the warmest condition there, just at 6 degrees. And for North Battleford, they will be going down to low -6 for their evening low. Now, as you can see, they are going to be seeing a little bit of snow, freezing rain. So throughout the evening and throughout the night, they are going to be seeing some pretty gloomy conditions. So for North Battleford people, just be prepared because it will be cooling down, but also you will be seeing some pretty rough conditions. So make sure you are layering up if you are going to be outside whatsoever, but try and stay inside because you are going to be seeing a little bit of snow coming up. For tomorrow, North Battleford will be looking at 6 once again for their daytime high and seeing a mixture of some sun and cloud. Hopefully they will be seeing a little bit more sun peeking behind those clouds throughout the day. Going over to Cold Lake, they'll be going down to a low of -3 for their evening low. They will be seeing an evening rain or snow shower in some spots. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty cloudy for their evening and throughout the night. So going to be seeing some gloomy conditions as well for Cold Lake and seeing that minus mark. It's better than seeing those minus double digits just quite yet. So I think we're all still pretty grateful. For tomorrow, Cold Lake will be looking at 5 for their daytime high and seeing some cloudiness in the morning, but then seeing a little bit more sun peeking behind those clouds throughout the day. For us here in the border city, we'll be going to that low of -6 as well, but we will be seeing some partly cloudy conditions, not seeing too rough of some conditions like some of these other spots we are looking at. So I think we're all pretty grateful, although we will be cooling out quite a bit. So make sure you got your furnace prepared. Then tomorrow we will be looking at 5 throughout the day, warming up slightly than what we saw today with a mixture of some sun and clouds. So we will be seeing a little bit more sun tomorrow. And ending off with a look at some of your weather photo submissions. Thank you to everyone that have submitted so far. From Valerie, beautiful shot here. I love seeing that everyone got some nice fall photos. And there's a couple extras. Monica here, gorgeous shot of that tree there with the sun peeking through, and another one from a trail from Katie. Thank you to everyone once again. And that's all I have for now. We'll have more coming up after the break.
Lloydminster U18 AAA Bobcats are coming off a home-and-home series this past weekend and are getting set for another, but this time against 2 hockey clubs. The Orange and Black are coming off a 3-2 loss Sunday against the Edmonton Junior Oilers after winning by the same score a day earlier. The Bobcats, however, are still sitting in the driver's seat of the North Division with 12 points.
Group right now, it's from training camp to right now, I guess we've really gotten close as a team already, which is really good. So I think we got big things coming.
You can catch the Bobcats at their next game on Sunday afternoon at the Service Sports Center when they take on the Sherwood Park Ennis Kings at 3:30 local time. Halloween isn't just the only thing around the corner. At high schools across the region, basketball season is on a full court sprint towards us. One way to get prepared is to hop on down to a camp and sharpen your skills. Haunted Hoops is a 2-day basketball camp for students in the Lloydminster area, grades 9 through 12, happening at the LCHS gym this weekend. The origins of the event are best put by Kiana Bannerman.
Haunted Hoops kind of came about because we were talking about the season and how last year we had lots of kids not try out for basketball because they hadn't been in a gym for so long. They hadn't had the chance to really get to know the sport in middle school. So we wanted to make something where kids from any division could come and just learn about the sport, get in the gym, play, meet some people who love the sport. And really it's just to spread knowledge and awareness of the sport and make sure we're building it in our community.
With 5+ coaches on site and small group sizes, attendees are sure to get a great one-on-one time. To sign up, contact Kiana or follow the QR code. And now it's time for us to check in once again with Shelby Clark, who has an extended look at weather.
Again there, Mr. Jace Mackey. Yes, now taking another extended look at your weather forecast. We'll be starting off with our central zone of the provinces, and from what we are seeing right now, we're kind of seeing the same conditions as what we were looking at yesterday, although maybe a couple degrees warmer compared to yesterday, which is nice to see. But you know, we are going to be cooling down regardless as we are in the fall season heading into winter. 7 degrees for Edson and Jasper, so seeing the warmest conditions over on that end. Seeing 6 degrees for Red Deer and both Edmonton. Seeing that 5 and 4 right in the middle there with Whitecourt and Rocky Mountain House, and then we start to cool down with Athabasca, seeing that just that 2-degree mark. So definitely seeing some cooler temperatures on our Alberta side, you know, just getting a slightly close to that 10-degree mark with those double digits, but still quite underneath it. So we are going to be seeing this a lot more now, but it's better than seeing those minuses just yet. You know, I think we're all pretty grateful to still see those plus temperatures. Going over to our Saskatchewan side, they are definitely seeing cooler conditions than what we are looking at on our Alberta side, with most seeing that 3-degree mark just under us here in the border city. 4 degrees in Saskatoon, while the 6 in North Battleford. So North Battleford still seeing the warmest condition. Melfort is seeing the coolest with that 0 mark. So Melfort's looking a lot cooler than the rest. Going over to our northern zone now, speaking of cooler conditions, they definitely are seeing that, especially on the Saskatchewan side. -1 for Wollaston Lake and Flin Flon. So they are actually just hitting that -1. Most are just reaching that 0 mark right now. So definitely cooling down quite a bit over in this zone. And La Loche and Buffalo Narrows both at that 2, but definitely seeing the coolest conditions compared. Switching back over to our Alberta side, they are looking slightly warmer compared to the Saskatchewan side in our northern area, but you know, still definitely seeing way cooler than what we are looking at in our central zone. 2 degrees is the warmest that most spots are seeing on this side, with Fort McMurray and Grand Prairie. Seeing that 1 for Slave Lake and Fort Chipewyan, and then we definitely start to get cooler from there. 0 in Peace River, and as you can see, high level is now in that -2 range. And now going over to our southern zone. Hopefully it switches over here. Just struggling here. There we go. Jace has always got me. He's always ready for it. He's always ready for it. Going over to our southern zone, they are seeing definitely some warmer conditions compared to northern and the central zone for sure. Lethbridge and Medicine Hat seeing the warmest with that 8 and 9, so just a degree or 2 cooler than that 10-degree mark. 6 degrees up in Coronation, while the rest are just at that 3 and 2. So looking slightly cooler for Calgary and Banff, but the rest are seeing slightly warmer conditions. And we go back to our Saskatchewan side to see how they're doing in our southern zone, and they are still seeing some pretty cool down temperatures like yesterday they were looking at. 0 and 1 for Regina, Moose Jaw, and Swift Current. They are seeing some slightly warmer compared to Estevan and Yorkton. Estevan is actually seeing the warmest there, sorry, with that 3, and Kindersley at that 5 degrees, but Yorkton is seeing the coolest with that -2. So definitely the Saskatchewan side over in our southern zone isn't looking too warm either. So Alberta side's definitely seeing the warmest conditions in all the zones that we have looked at. But looking at some overnight temperatures and some evening temperatures that we will be seeing in some surrounding areas here, we are going to be seeing those minus temperatures keep moving forward as we head more into the winter season here. So most will be seeing those minuses, but still those single digits, so not too bad. Meadow Lake will be expecting slightly warmer with that -1. Low of -2 that Isla Crosse will be seeing. -4 that Bonnyville will be expecting. And Provost and Paradise Hill will be seeing the coolest with that low of -5 and -6. And most spots will be seeing just some gloomier conditions. Won't be seeing too bad. Meadow Lake, Isla Crosse, and Paradise Hill will be expecting a high chance of some flurries, so just be prepared. And looking at a little bit more spots across the surrounding areas and across the region for overnight, definitely cooler conditions with -6 and -7 that most will expect. Pearson will be looking at a low of -3 and seeing a high chance of some flurries, while the rest will just be partly cloudy. So we will be seeing some definitely some cloudier conditions for most spots and seeing those minus marks, but at least they're single digits. And looking at our 7-day forecast, we're here in the Border City. Get ready. We'll be seeing some warmer temperatures Thursday and Friday at 11. So get ready, slightly warmer. Then seeing that 8 and 10 for Saturday and Sunday. So seeing a slightly warmer weekend. Then get ready. We'll be seeing that -1 next Monday and 5 next Tuesday. So fall temperatures are definitely coming, and winter is slowly making its way in the Border City. That's all I have for now. Our Jace Mackey will have news coming up after the break.
that time of week for the Pet Project, and I'm here at Border City Paws Animal Shelter. And today we have another cat who's been here for a really long time. Her name is Boomer, and she did come in as a stray. How many days has she been in here? And kind of tell me a little bit about her story.
So Boomer is a 4-year-old black domestic short hair, and she's been here for 130 days now. So yeah, she just, I believe bylaw brought her in, and she did have a microchip, but no information attached to that microchip. So yeah, she's been here for about 130 days, and we're just kind of looking for somebody to take her home. She isn't really one to like to be picked up, but she loves to cuddle on her terms. Right. Loves treats, as you can see. Very friendly cat, though, and she doesn't seem to mind the other cats, too. So, not really sure about dogs. We haven't quite tested her there yet.
So, seems like a typical kind of cat, that personality where, like, I love you, but only when I want to love you. So, please don't pick me up. No, that's awesome, and especially, you know, black cats are kind of a little bit more undesirable just because of the stigma around them.
Yeah.
So, how are they? I know you said that she's pretty good with other cats. Kind of what that personality is kind of like.
So yeah, she's very friendly. I mean, she's kind of an old soul, I would say. She kind of like, oh, too many treats. Yeah, she's kind of an old soul. She'll come and sit on your lap and stuff. Like I said, I don't think she minds other cats. I wouldn't really see her being much of a playing cat, though. She just kind of wants to sit on your lap while you read a book or watch a movie. So
more families with older
kids, I think she would do better in an older environment. Although, I mean, if they're gentle kids, right, I'd probably say 5 and up. So,
well, which is perfect, especially since she's been here for so long. Definitely get the word out that she's a good cat to have, but definitely be cautious around picking her up. And
I'll just actually, since we were talking about black cats, mention that I totally forgot to mention is we're actually doing an adoption event the Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week. So all black, orange, and white kitties for Halloween are going to be at a discounted price. I believe 6 months and older will be $75, and our kittens will be $100.
Oh, perfect. So kind of that reduced
Yeah,
price.
and we also have 3 bunnies as well that are needing homes too, and they're black and white, so they'll be included in that as well.
So that works out perfectly if, you know, kind of get the word out about, you know, they're available, the black, white, and orange for Halloween.
Which I believe is most of ours.
Yeah, which is perfect. A good opportunity to try to find some forever homes for these cats, which is awesome. Now, we mentioned last week that the carnival was moved to be indoors, and you have a date and a location.
We do. So yeah, I guess we'll leave Boomer be. So yeah, we're going to be doing it on November 26th. It's a Saturday, and it's going to be at the St. John's Anglican Church, right across from the movie theater. So it'll go from 12 to 5, and we're going to have lots of vendors and some food, as well as a lot of carnival games for the kids.
And that's awesome that you were able to find an indoor location, especially the weather has been turning. So now the tattoo event is coming up.
Yes, this weekend.
Tell me a little bit about that, and then the Slay the Night as well.
So yeah, we have our tattoo fundraiser at Marked Up this Saturday from 10 to 6. We are completely full at the moment, but that doesn't mean there's not going to be some cancellation. So we do have a waiting list going. So if you still want to get that tattoo, give us a call. A lot of things come up last minute and people cancel. And I know last year they got a lot of the cancellations in because they had extra time as well. And then that night, Saturday night at the Sticks, Slay the Night is putting on a drag show. It's a lot of fun. They did one for us last year. It's a good time for everyone. And then they're also going to have a silent auction with a bunch of different local items from local vendors. That will be the proceeds going to us.
And do people need to buy tickets for that particular event?
Yes, so you can go to Everbit and get tickets online, or you can pay at the door. It's $20 for the tickets. So.
And now you mentioned that you have more kittens in. We're getting into that time of year for strays and stuff. Have you seen more of an influx so far?
Yes. Yeah, it seems like every day we're getting anywhere from 7 to 10 kittens in a day. So it's been pretty crazy lately.
And I know that we've been talking about cats for the last couple weeks, but have you noticed anything with dogs coming in? Any more strays with them?
Dogs, knock on wood, have been okay lately. We do have some littler guys. We have a few puppies out in foster right now. So when they come back, we'll be quite full again. But for older dogs, we only have a couple in right now, which is really nice to see. So
perfect. And we always ask this question because it's very important. Any donations, food, warm blankets, anything like that?
Yeah, so everything you just said we can use, and we also have an Amazon wish list too.
Perfect.
So if you're not really sure what to get for us, you can just go onto Amazon and go on our wish list, and it comes right to us. So those people who want to donate but are, you know, so busy to actually have time to go out and get stuff, it's click, 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 done, right?
And they just go to amazon.com/.
Yep, it's all on our Facebook page. So just head to our Facebook page, and we have a link on there to take you right there.
And lastly, is there any update on the new building? I know people are very excited about that.
So we're still hoping for by the end of this year. December is what I know when we do our new jail and bail, it will be there. So yeah, fingers crossed. We're hoping in the next 2 months to be in there. So we'll just kind of see how things go.
And hopefully it doesn't get pushed back, because I'm sure everybody here, staff and the animals, are probably super excited to have a bigger space and a warmer space as well, more practical for what you guys do, and being able to house more strays. Unfortunately, that's sad, but at least you'll have the facility to bring them in.
Very, very excited.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today again on Pet Project, and hopefully Boomer finds her forever home very, very soon.
Pet Project is sponsored by the Pet Pad. For total pet care, think Pet Pad.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Joining us today for Primetime Local News is Tara Lawrence with the Lloyd Interval Home Society and, of course, the Youth Center. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today, Tara.
No, thank you for having me.
Of course, no problem, because we saw a little bit of posts online. You received a community development grant, and this is from the Canadian Tire Jumpstart. So can we kind of start off with talking a little bit about that, of what this grant is all about?
Sure. So we apply for funding for a lot of our programs. The Canadian Tire Jumpstart is one that we get on a 3 times a year, whatever that is, not quarterly, 3 times a year, and they provide funding for us to do things like rent a service sports center field house or take the youth bowling, and we do activities that are more expensive and would not be within our budget otherwise. So the youth center runs these programs usually on Friday evenings, giving our youth a chance to go out into the community and try out different activities and stay active, burn off some energy, try some new things. It's a win-win for us and for Canadian Tire Jumpstart.
And I know you're saying this is 3 times a year, and it's not really something you're new to, but just seeing that you're still receiving this community development grant, how nice does it feel to see that you're still getting that strong support?
Yeah, it is really useful, and it comes at sort of 3 quarters around the year, so that we make sure that we're offering interesting, engaging programming for our youth year round. So it's not like once a year and then when it's done, it's done. And so we alternate between different things. So we'll do sports at one point. We do skating more in the winter, some of those more winter activities. And then in the summer, we tend to focus on swimming and getting the kids outside.
And how does it feel seeing the kids really enjoy this, especially youth in the community, just seeing how much it benefits them and having lots of fun with being able to do these sorts of activities from these grants?
The kids love it. The kids burn off so much energy and get such a feeling of just joy and being able to do things that maybe they weren't otherwise able to, or in a less structured environment, maybe than like gym class at school. But it takes a lot of energy and it's a lot of fun. And that's what we're here all about, building connections with youth and having fun.
And of course, like you're saying, the winter, there's some certain activities the youth enjoy doing. So that's coming up pretty soon here, as you can see outside with the weather changing slowly and slowly. But, with the time coming up here, is there more needed right now with, of course, not only the Youth Center, but with the Lloyd Interval Home Society?
Well, the Lloyd Interval Home Society as a whole is working with the comp, doing our Rudolph Roundup, and we will be doing hampers. We do hampers for families that have received our services over the course of the year, and that includes some of our families that attend the youth center. So that is our main focus coming up, as well. November is Family Violence Prevention Month, which is always a big month for us, raising awareness about the prevalence of family violence in our community and the steps that everyone can take to come together to lead from where we stand and end family violence in our community.
Oh, perfect. And is there anything else you'd like to add that I may have missed out on that's, really happening with the youth center and with the Lloyd Interval Home Society and besides, of course, with November coming up here?
No, the youth center, we're always looking for volunteers and we're always having people come out, come and hang out with the youth, come and share something that you're passionate about. There's lots of opportunities to be engaged. And so we do encourage people to reach out to our volunteer program whenever possible. The youth center has a website. It's lcyc.cc. We're not the yacht club, we're the youth center. And then for volunteers, particularly, you would go to intervalhome.org to the volunteer page and sign up through there.
Perfect, Tara. Well, once again, thank you so much for joining us today and being able to speak about some of the grants that you received and some of the positive stuff that's happening with the youth center here in the community and what's coming up here. So thank you.
Sounds great. Thanks so much for having me, Shelby.
And off with another quick look at your 7-day forecast. We are going to be seeing a much more cooler day tomorrow as well with that 5 mixture of some sun and clouds. So make sure you are layering up because we are going to be seeing another cool day for our Wednesday. Warming it up to 11 for both Thursday and Friday. So definitely seeing those double digits make their way back in the border city again to start off our weekend, which will be nice. We'll have a little bit more sun, just slightly warmer. Then we will be seeing that 8 on Saturday, which isn't too bad. I think if anyone's got Halloween plans, you can get outside and still enjoy it. Just make sure you got a nice layers over top your Halloween costume and you're being safe out there. Then ending it off on Sunday, we'll be seeing that 10 degrees, so seeing that double digit once again, seeing a little slight breeze throughout the day, but nice way to end off the weekend. Then Monday, just in time for Halloween, we will be seeing that -1, unfortunately the coolest day for Halloween, so make sure all the kidlets are just layered up and nice and warm for trick-or-treating. Then we'll be seeing that 5 next Tuesday.
Thanks for that, Shelby. We're used to bundling up for Halloween here in Alberta, so shouldn't be too much of a surprise this time of year. Thank you all for joining us for Primetime Local News. Have a good night.